Shalom Halakum. Welcome to Hebrew line of Shem. Yom Shabbaton, day of Sabbath rest. Today I'm going to be talking about in the book of Matthew. If I could tag this message, I would tag it, practice what you preach. Do not be a hypocrite. In Matthew, the Mashiach is talking to the Pharisee and the scribe, the ones who write on the Torah. And they're sitting on Moses' seat, and he commanded them to do what they say do according to the Torah, right? And but he also, when he was speaking to the congregation and his disciples, he was telling them, but don't you do as they do. Because what they were doing, they were ministering the Torah on how to, to do the Torah, but they was hypocrites because they wasn't practicing the Torah, but they was putting the burden on everybody else to practice, and they was running around as with their phylacteries on in the marketplaces and the streets and be called rabbi. We as Hebrew Israelites are not supposed to be called rabbi. I hear those terms a whole lot, but the only one we're supposed to be calling Rabboni or rabbi is the Messiah. The Messiah is our deliverer. He is our teacher. He come from the kingdom on earth. You know the story in Matthew, born of a virgin, Miriam. And he is our teacher. And he told us not call men father, for we only have one father, and that is Yahusha, and Yahuwah. He is our father, and Yahusha is our teacher, our Mashiach, and we're supposed to listen because he's the representative of the kingdom. We're supposed to listen to every word he say and to follow it, because they were putting burdens on people, and themselves wouldn't even lift a finger to help anyone. And it's the same thing going on in this time that we're living in, how they were back in the land of Palestine during the time of the Roman rule. And you have that today. Preachers I hear say, and pastors say, sheep begat sheep. In other words, exempting himself to be going out and in witnesses and stuff, and saying it to the congregation. That preacher that say these things are not practicing what they preach, because everyone, we are brethren, according to Matthew 23, verse 1 through 10, and you can read it on further. I submit and plead to you, my brothers and my sisters, that be mindful to follow the words of the Messiah. He's our rabbi. He is the only one that we should be listening to, not doctrines of men's, not all this other stuff that's going on. And he is the one, and he's teaching the congregation and his disciples, because right now they are apprentices. They practicing and learning from the teacher, the Messiah, which is their Rabboni, and they're learning from him. And you know the stories as you read the Bible, the precious word of Yah, that they were going to be, when they filled with the Ruach, they were going to be walking and doing the same thing. And they're going to have confrontations, just like he had with the Pharisees, Sadducees, and even the scribes. The Sadducees, they didn't even believe in the resurrection. If you don't believe in the resurrection, you can just forget about it. all you're doing and you're getting and stuff is just for show. It has no solid foundation, because the Messiah is our foundation, and he is our shalik, he's our rock. And we should follow his words, not our philosophies or concepts, because it's nothing. Follow the Messiah. So he's telling us to do this so we can be effective witnesses to people, and we are called brethren. When I see you, you are not my teacher. The Messiah is our teacher for the whole nation of Israel, to the Hebrews. And he shares this particular passage of scripture to start us off on the right footing and to follow the footsteps of him and not men. Because men will deceive you. There's a lot of deceivers and false prophets in the world, and they will deceive you and guide you in the wrong way. For it is good to do good by walking in the Torah, living the Torah, practicing what we minister to people. And this is what the Messiah was conveying to his disciples and to the congregation that he was teaching. And we know once they got learned and then got filled with the Ruach, then they went out. These are our brethren from Kepha, which is Peter, all the way down to John and the rest of them, and to Matthias, the 12. And hear my words, my brother and my sister. You are my brother if you keep the Torah, if you born again, not of the corruptible seed, but of the incorruptible seed, because the Messiah is incorruptible. And we can live this life and we can walk this walk according to our rabbi, which is the Messiah. Speak what he speak. All through the Bible, he given us parables all the way through Revelation. Understand what he's saying in the parables, and then just let it go. So I plead to you this day, because during this time with all this pandemic, I truly believe that this pandemic is sent by Yahuwah to shake up men, because men in the world is not listening to his Son, which is the Messiah, to come from sin. If my people are called by my name, will humble themselves and pray. Because a lot of Hebrew Israelites, even in ancient days, they fell away and got trapped in all kind of idols and other stuff. So now the Messiah has come, the fulfillment of all prophecy. We're to follow what he say, minister what he say, and he's our guide, our teacher. I love his words. I love his conduct. I love how he treated people. And we're supposed to treat our neighbors as ourselves and every stranger that we meet. We are the true bloodline of Abraham, Isaac, and Yaakov, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And it's time for us to live this. Shalom till next time.